Welcome to Murder Bites, where we recreate the last meals and murderous dishes of history's most notorious killers.
Hello, I'm Merle.
I'm Hannah.
Both of us are true crime obsessed.
And today we're going to be discussing and recreating the poisoned banana pudding from the case of Sabrina Limon.
This case has it all. It has a love triangle. It has betrayal. It has murderous dessert.
And plot twist, you might think that this poisoned banana pudding is the murder weapon. There is so much more to this case because it's not.
And then at the end, we're gonna bring in an unsuspecting victim to come in and taste test.
Let's dive right in.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm making banana pudding with cookie wafers, but I took a couple liberties. I'm adding some cream cheese and sweetened condensed milk to a standard pack of pudding. Then I'm gonna add a meringue layer on top to make it a little fancy, because if you're poisoning pudding, you gotta make it look good.
Yeah, we gotta get someone to eat it at the end.
You want someone to want to take a bite.
Sabrina Limon and Robert Limon met in Prescott, Arizona. Sabrina was 18 and Robert was 21. They met at a barbecue. Their friends and family described them as a particularly loving couple.
Yes.
First of all, this is fishy. A couple who met in person.
You don't trust couples that meet in person anymore?
Not anymore.
Details of their early relationship were compiled by the podcast Sword and Scale. After watching hours of extensive testimony, the relationship escalated quickly. Mere months after meeting, they moved in together. Less than 2 years later, Robert and Sabrina were married.
I got married after 4 months.
I'm not here to judge.
After 3 years of marriage, they had their first child, Robbie. Then 3 years after that, they had a daughter, Leanna.
Hannah, you're about to have your third kid.
Yeah.
You're almost there.
I mean, 3 years is a good age gap. I'm surprised that this ended so traumatically because I feel like they did it all right.
Everything?
You know? Yeah, they did it right.
They put on a good front.
Like married, house, kids, 3-year age gap.
That doesn't equal happiness.
12 years into the marriage, Sabrina was working part-time at a Costco. And this is where she met Jonathan Hearn.
Costco is the ultimate temptation for moms.
Sabrina and Jonathan started talking. He'd never been in a long-term relationship before. Meanwhile, Sabrina, now 32, was married with 2 kids. Hearn was a 22-year-old firefighter.
And a 32-year-old mother of 2.
And Costco.
And Costco. This is a recipe for disaster.
It really is. Okay, you seem like you're cooking up some magic here. What are you working on?
Yes, so this is a cream cheese sweetened condensed milk mixture. I have some powdered pudding mix. Nice. Throw this puppy in, get some milk in there, let it marinate.
What?
I'm pregnant. I can't remember anything. I'm like...
You're killing it.
My brain is this big.
Just relax and listen to the murder story.
Sabrina openly admits that she fell in love with Jonathan and that the two had an affair. She also claimed that she and Robert had a semi-open relationship in which they were allowed to have casual sex with people outside of their marriage.
That's fully open. How's that semi-open?
I don't know where the semi comes into play. If semi-open just sounds like one person knows it's open and the other one does not.
Yeah, that sounds like her way of saying it's not an affair because it's semi-open.
Right.
The pair was pretty religious. They started referring to their relationship as God's purpose, a purpose that would soon turn deadly.
Before I continue, I'm curious what you're doing. You look like you're working really hard.
I'm working so hard stirring this pudding mix. Actually, you could help me with something. Can you reach this?
Yes,
this burner?
Yes.
Thank you.
Of course.
Does it make me a bad mom that we're talking about death while my baby is here?
They need to know.
Okay.
The children need to know.
Hearn told investigators that he and Sabrina had hundreds of conversations about their shared future, which often focused on marriage. He said that they thought it was important that her children be raised by godly parents.
So basically saying Robert's not good enough.
Because was Robert religious?
I don't know. You can see how he's starting to twist the narrative to make it okay that they're cheating.
Yep.
Jonathan claimed that Sabrina insisted divorce was not an option. So the two started joking about killing Robert only a few months into the relationship.
Apparently, these jokes slowly began to turn into actual plans. So what started as a knock-knock joke turned into a death wish.
Sabrina and Jonathan considered a number of methods to kill Robert, including staging a fire or a car accident. Eventually, they landed on poisoning.
That logic seems so flawed because there will be an autopsy. If you're gonna do it, staging a car accident makes more sense.
Are you actually giving tips at this point?
No. All right, we are ready with this pudding.
Oh, nice and thickened. Nice work.
It looks nice,
Yeah,
right?
she does. Yeah.
So this is ready. It's ready to chill. We're gonna get plastic wrap pressed directly onto the custard so we can refrigerate it right away. And I'm gonna waddle on over to the kitchen.
Oh,
To
please.
throw this in.
Let me take that for you.
Thank
Please.
you.
Please, please.
She's saying I'm slow.
No, I'm a good friend. Now that Sabrina and John had jumped back.
Sorry.
Are you?
Jonathan researched and eventually acquired a small amount of arsenic trioxide. He purchased it with a prepaid credit card under the fictitious name Terrence.
Like what?
Terrence sounds like a fake name.
I know.
If you're using a credit card to buy arsenic and you put the name Terrence, that's not real.
Also, sorry if your name is Terrence.
Jonathan also did research on how much arsenic they would need to successfully kill a human, as well as recipes for pudding with Nilla wafers. He also searched for how soon after someone dies a life insurance policy payout.
They always do that. This is the thing. They go to all this trouble. Okay, cover my tracks, use a fake name, buy a prepaid card, blah, blah, blah. Google death life insurance payout. They're always gonna check your search history.
I know.
They're always gonna check your search history.
Hearn went so far as to test the arsenic on a neighborhood dog, which he noted disappeared shortly after he administered the poison.
I know. Don't get the dogs involved.
I'm sorry, but this man is a true monster.
Because of the dog.
Because he murders not only a human, but also a dog.
2 batches of banana pudding with Nilla wafers were prepared. The first was a large normal portion for Sabrina's family to consume. The second was a small portion laced with arsenic meant only for Robert. Sabrina packed it in his lunch before he went to work.
But, okay, she has kids living in her house.
I know.
If I had a thing of pudding in my fridge, my kids would help themselves. That's so dangerous.
I mean, yes, across the board. But it's weird about which things they're very picky about. They're like, let's make sure we make a large batch so it doesn't look like we just made a small batch, but then let's put the small poison batch in the house with the children.
Yeah.
However, after Robert left for work with his poisoned pudding, Jonathan and Sabrina began to worry that, should a criminal investigation ensue, police would find arsenic in Robert's blood, plus a host of other evidence linking them to the crime. They realized their plan was very, very flawed.
Hey, it's me. I Googled arsenic a bunch of times, actually, so.
Sabrina called Robert at work and told him to throw the pudding away before he could eat it because it didn't taste right. He did. Now, Jonathan and Sabrina had to go back to the drawing board.
I'm going to pause right there, and I want you to tell me what you're doing now.
What's happening? Well, I have my pudding. I'm adding a little more cold milk to it because it's a little thick, and I kind of eyeballed a lot of this, and it's not cooling down as quickly as I'd like.
That's a good tip.
So I'm just gonna add some cold milk, get this a little less thick, and it's time to assemble.
All right.
You're not gonna wanna miss the assembly. There's fire.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Several months later, Jonathan and Sabrina decided to simply shoot Robert. So on August 17th, 2014, Jonathan Hearn drove to Robert Limon's work at the Burlington Northern Santa Fe train yard. There, Jonathan donned a Halloween mask and entered the building. Jonathan shot Robert, then tossed the room to make it look like a robbery took place. On his way out the door, Jonathan returned and shot Robert one more time to make sure he was actually dead. Later, Jonathan said he didn't want Robert to suffer.
How kind of you.
Yeah. Ooh, are you going to do multiple layers?
Oh yeah, we're layering this up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
When lead detective Robert Meyer contacted Sabrina about the murder, she told him everyone loved Robert, that there was nothing abnormal in their relationship. But phone records show that Sabrina talked to Jonathan for 3 hours and 45 minutes before Jonathan killed her husband that same day. Afterwards, Sabrina called and texted Robert's phone multiple times throughout the evening, presumably to make it appear as if she was a worried wife, wondering where her husband was. The police tapped Sabrina and Jonathan's phone lines, and their subsequent phone conversations piqued investigators' interest. Jonathan and Sabrina never outright confessed to the crime over the phone, but their conversations about their future together starkly contrasted Sabrina's public grief over Robert.
This is the creepiest part of life. If you're going to get murdered, it's probably going to be your significant other. This pudding looks good.
It looks beautiful. It looks very appetizing. You've done a great job.
Yeah. I'd pack this in my lunch.
Police arrested Sabrina Limon and Jonathan Hearn in November 2014. Hearn pleaded guilty to shooting Robert Limon and, as part of his plea deal, agreed to testify against Sabrina.
Good.
Yeah. So, but they did all of that together to be together as God's plan. And then as soon as it got real, he was like,
flipped.
Peace.
The court found Jonathan guilty of murder and, because of his plea deal, sentenced him to 25 years and 4 months behind bars. His testimony further implicated Sabrina in the plot, and some went as far as to call her the mastermind behind it.
And the other thing that I think about is she looked her children in the eye and told them that their dad was dead, and she was part of it. She was part of the cause. It's unfathomable to me that you could do that.
Sabrina pled not guilty to murder, conspiracy, solicitation to commit murder, attempted murder, poisoning, and accessory charges.
She pled not guilty?
Not guilty.
Girl, you have hours and hours of recorded phone calls.
I know.
What?
I know. Talking openly about the plot and the plan.
Oh my God. The pudding is all plated except for the meringue. So I'm going to spread this meringue on top and I'm going to use my blowtorch.
What? Casual?
To toast it.
Okay.
In October 2017, Sabrina Limon was found guilty of first-degree murder and accessory to murder in the death of her husband, Robert Limon. Facing life in prison, Sabrina was ultimately only sentenced to 25 years and 16 months. She was never found guilty of the poisoning charge.
Oh.
I guess they couldn't prove it. There wasn't enough
Probably
evidence.
there was no evidence.
Right.
It was his word against hers. So the last thing that we have to do on the pudding is torch this. If you actually want to make this pudding, you can put it in the oven for a few minutes until it's browned on the meringue side, or if you have a blowtorch.
If you have a blowtorch.
You should have a blowtorch.
Oh, yeah.
Come on. Slow and steady wins the race.
Yeah, you're not messing around. Oh, it smells incredible. It does smell like a campfire. Mm-hmm. Oh, it looks so beautiful. You did a great job. It looks gorgeous. This man doesn't stand a chance.
So I'm gonna dish these out into 3 bowls, and we want our victims, potential choice to be manipulated in some way. We know we can't use real arsenic, and we know that real arsenic actually doesn't have any taste or smell. But we're gonna need something to differentiate the poisoned pudding. So I am going to Salt Bay
Oh my.
the crap out of his face.
Oh my. Yeah,
There we go.
that'll do it.
So I am finished. These are ready.
All right, let's bring in our victim.
Can you grab that third one?
Oh yeah.
Thank you. Hi.
Hi. Oh my.
How are you?
I'm very well.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
Wow. I smell it.
What does it smell like?
Is that whipped cream?
Listen, let me just clue you in on what we're doing.
Okay.
So today we've been talking about the case of Sabrina Limon, who mixed poison into banana pudding to give to her husband. Hannah's recreated that banana pudding, and one of these has been poisoned. So we're gonna have you pick one and try it, and hopefully, you're not poisoned. You
I love a fun game.
can explore them, like you can smell them, look at them.
I like those games, where they shuffle things around and you close your
yeah.
eyes. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna
That.
do that. I'm gonna let fate decide. I am a religious man.
It's a risky move.
I'm gonna let. Oh, okay. This is the one, I guess.
There we go.
Whoa. Oh.
You can spin it. You can spin it back in. Oh no.
Oh my God. I'm so sorry.
Oh my God.
You have it all. Yeah.
So what actually happened with the real poison pudding?
Well, the irony of all of this is that she never actually ended up poisoning him. She made the pudding because she thought it was his favorite dessert, but then it turned out it wasn't even his favorite dessert. His favorite dessert was ice cream with popcorn on it.
Oh.
Ice cream with popcorn?
I mean, banana pudding?
I mean, pregnant me is gonna go home and try that right now, I'm gonna be honest. Well, thank you for joining us on this journey. Aria, thank you so much for being the perfect victim to this crime.
And let us know if there are any famous final meals that you'd like to see us recreate.